So who am I talking with?
I'm Jason Seiden, co-founder and CEO of Ajax Social Media.
And you were just saying that your latest obsession is workforce marketing. Explain.
So, historically, companies have put responsibility for branding, and I mean branding both in terms of marketing and in terms of HR and recruiting employer branding, in the hands of a few concentrated individuals. But in the world of social media, that doesn't make any sense. It makes more sense to align the messages across your employees so that you can amplify that brand message beyond just those few core people and get everybody in your company singing from the same hymnal, so to speak.
That is a problem not just in employee workforce, but just telling the company message. I mean, if you go to 10 people in the company and you say, hey, what's the company story? You'll get 10 different stories, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that challenge, right, so this is really a challenge of the right kind of user adoption of social media. What's different today than in the past isn't that people all of a sudden magically have an easy time getting aligned. It's that it's become imperative because of social media. So it used to be that we went to work and we had our work selves, and we went home and we had our home selves. And these were two different things. So it was relatively easy for a company to say, okay, you know what? We've got everybody at work, everyone's compartmentalized. We're going to take one of those compartments, we're going to call it PR, we're going to call it employer branding, and those are the people who will be responsible for communicating our brand message. But now with social media, it's a more personal world. What I do professionally and what I do personally overlap. So if I'm not aligned with the company, I'm still representing the company. When I'm talking to my friends, it's a more amorphous conversation on social media now. It's not just a friend conversation, it's a friend conversation that could easily turn into business development or recruiting or marketing or sales or something, or business networking. And in that world, it's imperative that we get tighter alignment, because whether the company wants it to be true or not, everybody now is a brand ambassador. So that's the reality of the situation. The other part of the question that you framed, how do we solve it? That's a way in which. That's not a what conversation. Companies have been long focused on the content that they want to put into their employees' hands. The content itself hasn't solved that problem. We need to shift our thinking, look at how we're doing it, look at how people are adopting social media, look at the relationship and the value proposition that the company has vis-a-vis the employee, and make changes in those areas.
Excellent point. I was just at a security conference and talking about how, you have to be wary of your employees doing social media for their personal sake and for company, because how they behave personally is going to reflect to how they behave with the company. Has that become an issue? I mean, have you noticed that, hey, we're not really happy with this way this person's behaving personally in social media, and this is definitely not going to react well on our brand?
Yeah, it's absolutely the case that personal behavior is now impacting professional opportunities. That's a big part of professionalism, right? The benefit of professionalism is you get to make work a little more personal. The flip side is you gotta sort of button up on the personal side. We've got one whole vertical at Ajax where we are focused on we're focused on the financial industry. Now, this is an industry with very tight requirements around what employees can and can't say. But it turns out, even within the compliance-driven world of the financial industry, we can still operate within the construct of SEC guidelines, within the construct of FINRA guidelines, and establish a way for individuals to self-identify with the brand, to communicate the brand story in a way that is within the brand requirements, within regulation, and won't get them into trouble. Now, does that mean we can eliminate the risk of a rogue tweet? No. I mean, the fact that there's risk there, that's what I call job security, right? There will always be a need for people to rehear the message, do not post your Facebook photos from the last weekend anywhere where your boss or coworkers can see them.
Excellent point. Hey, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.